Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV and Radio, where wisdom meets experience. Join a dynamic lineup of thought leaders, professionals, and changemakers from around the world. Dr. Madeline Chan from the UK, Mariska Dupreya from Australia, Red O'Loughlin from Texas, USA, Carolyn HEWARD from the UK, Zunette Lub from Cape Town, South Africa, as they share expert insights, personal journeys, and impactful strategies for success. Talking Heads isn't just a show, it's a global stage for education, collaboration, and inspiration. So elevate your knowledge, expand your perspective, engage in conversations that matter. Streaming globally, empowering locally, this is Talking Heads, only on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Our show today is Talking Heads. I'm Caroline HEWARD and I'm one of 5 expert Talking Head presenters. I'm also the resident therapist on USA Global TV and Radio, and I'm also a TV presenter and host for A Woman's Prerogative, which is every Monday evening, 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm also known as the Harley Street Stress Expert, and I'm an expert presenter in today's topic, which is Empaths Beware, festive gatherings that bring out the narcissist. It's part of the Mind and Body Connection series, so let's begin. Now, before I really launch into this topic, the reason that I'm covering it is because it is Thanksgiving, and I wish everyone in America who are in America or who are somewhere else on holiday maybe, or a working holiday, or friends that have left America and they are in the UK or other countries, a very, very happy Thanksgiving Day. I know, because I used to have an American boyfriend, that Thanksgiving Day is bigger than the UK's Christmas. I didn't really understand that, and I feel very heartened by the fact of what Thanksgiving Day is all about. And it is to give gratitude and thanks for everything. And Dr. Jacqueline, just before we started the show, just behind the scenes as we were preparing, said every day is Thanksgiving Day. And I think that's a wonderful way to feel and to be in terms of your life. And at the same time, this topic today is covering the fact that it's not always good for everyone. And I'm looking at the festive season, the time that we all come together. So the holiday season is usually a time of joy, warmth, connection, and also for many people. And I do say for many people, because not everyone is happy, joyous, and looking forward to Christmas, even if it might be that they're on their own, or it might be that they have challenges with their own family. It's also a season of emotional triggers, and old family patterns resurface for some people. Unhealed wounds get activated because in the media and in social media, as well as TV, as well as places like Netflix or wherever you take your entertainment, we are supposed to be, there is a whole picture of how we should be versus how we're probably really feeling. So there are sometimes it activates personalities that step into the spotlight and in ways that make us feel drained. And sometimes we feel overwhelmingly painful. If you're an empath who feels deeply, and I'm one of those people, I feel deeply and I feel changes in the room. I feel, even if I'm not aware of something that's happened, I do feel a change or a feeling of there's been a difficulty before I've entered the space. So if you feel deeply and care deeply, you may notice energy shifts that from the moment of a certain person that walks into the room, you'll probably feel that you absorb tension. And at the same time, you're the person that keeps the peace. You become the emotional container for everyone else's discomfort. Today, in this episode, we're going to explore why festive gatherings amplify narcissistic behaviours, why empaths as sensitive individuals are the first that feel the impact. I also want to take you somewhere deeper, much, much deeper, behind the facade, the confidence and the control and the chaos of being with a narcissist, of the narcissistic behaviour, because narcissistic behaviour is rooted in fear. It's rooted in inadequacy. It's rooted in rejection. But being found out is not enough. The behaviour beneath the narcissist is a frightened inner child who never learnt emotional safety. I don't want to come down on the narcissist, and at the same time, I don't want to excuse the behaviours. And I feel that it's important to find a place, especially in our times now, in our festive gatherings, on Thanksgiving Day, and as we have the lead up to the Christian festivals of Christmas and all the other times that we connect with family, friends, and colleagues. Because I feel that this is the day, this is a specific day of gratitude. This is a specific day to be grateful and to be thankful, Thanksgiving Day. And that's why I want to look at why it is like it is, why the behaviour comes out and what's underneath. It doesn't mean that we're excusing that harmful behaviour. No, not at all. But what it will do is it will bring us into a place, because we are bearing witness, because we have an understanding, that we will no longer feel trapped in the battlefield of blame or reaction. We will be in a place of compassion, because compassion binds us and it empowers us. We're going to look at the dynamics, the psychology, the triggers of the empath and narcissist dance. And I want to call it a dance because that's exactly what it is. It's a give and take of energy. And we're going to explore that in this episode. We're also going to explore how to protect your energy if you are the empath, while holding a deep level of compassion without getting caught up in the codependent patterns that drain your emotional reserves. The holiday trigger effect, why narcissistic behaviours amplify during festive gatherings. So let's look at the relationship of why empath and narcissist are attracted to each other. Why sensitive hearts? Because that's what we are. We're open, sensitive hearts. And if you are an empath, you will feel that, and you will know things, feel things, but not really quite know why. why empaths are targets. You soothe other people that are feeling in a place of fear and inadequacy. You stabilize. You regulate others in terms of their emotions because you walk in as an empath in being calm. You see beneath the surface and you feel deeply. You forgive easily. And one of the traits of an empath is that there's a huge belief and a huge defense mechanism of avoiding conflict. You will do everything to keep the peace, and you carry the emotional weight of the group that you're within. Let's look at button pushing. When you're in your family environment or in a group where you are with colleagues, friends, or in this social festive gathering moment, and there is a narcissist within that group, whether it's family, colleagues, friends, they will provoke and manipulate. This is their normal behavior. And going underneath the mask of why they are like they are will move the empath and other people into a place of compassion. So why narcissists are more triggered is because they fear that they are losing control. Yes, they might look like they're in control. They actually fear that they are not in control. And this is the dichotomy of a narcissist. They will appear hugely in control, hugely unemotional, practical, driven. Underneath that huge level of what looks like they're in control, they will not feel internally any level of control. And that's powerful because it is a dichotomy, because they will be the go-to person within their working environment because they are considered and seen as the person in control. And yet underneath, they are not. And when you have that insight and awareness and understanding, it can change how you respond. Because when somebody doesn't feel that they're in control, they then will look for competition for attention. Their voice will be louder. They will want the fame. They will want to be the person that's the joker. They will want to be seen. And you will almost feel, as an empath, overpowered by the fact that their voice is louder than yours. Their jokes become more what people in the group will be listening to. And in terms of the position of you being the empath, the sensitive one, you will almost feel that it's better to be silent and to let them get on with it rather than get into anything. And that's because old family roles resurface. You have and will be exposed to the emotional intimacy which will feel threatening to the narcissist. I'm really turning how probably many people will view a narcissist in terms of we feel like they're the worst thing that walk this earth. We don't want to be in the company of a narcissist. If you have some insights and awareness and understanding that the narcissist is actually suffering, they're suffering, and this is an inbuilt defense mechanism that's coming out in this narcissistic behavior. And behind the scenes of that narcissistic behavior, there is a frightened inner child. Something has happened to them that has moved them into this space of protection so that no one can hurt them. They will dominate conversations. Have you ever been around a family dinner table, or even with friends or colleagues, where they have this ability to rewrite history You think you remember something that happened, and somehow or another, they turn it into something that you don't recognize or remember. And they're very good at rewriting history. They're very good at denying past events. Even if you've got them bang to rights, even if you know, and you know they know, they will still admit something different. They still won't admit what you know, because this is a protection mechanism. They will deny past events. They will be in a place of giving you what I would call subtle digs. You know what I mean? The look, the eyes, oh, I better keep quiet. If you're an empath, you will recognize some of these patterns. You may be at the butt of a public joke at your expense. The manipulation and the guilt, blame, the comparison, you and them. You know, underneath it all, they're actually very jealous of you. And I know it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't when you are in that place, when you're in that position of being the empath and you are suffering in this place of silence and feeling like they're in control and feeling like they have the power over you and you feel diminished. They actually have an emotional volatility with a desire to control the room. So behind the mask of the narcissist are hidden wounds, which drive the narcissistic behavior. The reality is they are deeply insecure and they fear the incredible and utmost rejection or abandonment. Now, that might just not make sense, especially if you have been or are experiencing within your family, within a working situation or a social gathering, when you experience as an empathic person that feeling of that overriding control and manipulation and almost coercion behavior, that fear of rejection and abandonment, they actually have a very fragile self-worth because they are protecting the wounded inner child. It is protection in a nutshell. I just want you to take a moment, because I've turned on its head everything that maybe you believed. Because it is a time of festive gatherings. It is Thanksgiving Day. And it is especially important to have some understanding or some insights as to why the person is behaving in the way that they are. Remember, I'm not saying that it's excusing their behavior or even forgiving it. I'm saying sometimes when you have insight, understanding, awareness, you can witness that person's behavior in a totally different way. And that moves you into a place of compassion. And when you're in a place of compassion, something incredible happens to the environment that you're in. Because compassion comes from the heart chakra. And when you are in the heart chakra, you're in a place of gratitude, joy, inner peace, kindness, and feelings of an elevated level. And when you are in that space of compassion, somehow or another, it's not as easy for the narcissist to behave so badly to you. I've got an expression that I use, and it's something that when I was going through my separation and my divorce, which was all way back in 2005, so over 2 decades ago, is to kill them with kindness. And when you are kind and you smile, it's so difficult for the narcissist to become that nasty, sneery, vindictive, manipulative person. It's very difficult. And also when you, in inverted commas, kill them with kindness, and I'm saying that literally, be kind, be in a space of compassion, something quite incredible happens. You give that to yourself. This is the gift that you are giving to yourself, that gift of compassion and kindness is whatever you give out, you get back. Even though it's challenging, even though it's difficult, and even though you feel like lashing out, that will only give the narcissist within the group more ammunition, more weaponry to be abusive in their behavior towards you. So compassion without a level of codependency. When you understand the suffering that the narcissist is actually in, underneath it all, behind the mask, without absorbing it, you will be able to have a wonderful festive time. There are some strategies I'd like to share with you for protection of the empath, because here it is beneath the mask of the narcissist that the empath gets abused and annihilated. So I want to make sure that I've been very considerate and kind and sensitive to the narcissist, and now I want to turn my attention to the empath, the person that is sensitive, that takes it all in, that doesn't know how to respond, and sometimes moves into a place of reaction and moves into a place of coercive control under the banner of the narcissist's activities and behaviours towards you. Boundaries is a key. Set a time limit on boundaries. Have an emotional distance. I don't mean don't engage. I don't mean that at all. I mean have an emotional distance. Be kind, be caring, be compassionate, and at the same time, protect yourself by having an emotional distance. Especially with close friends and family, they know your buttons. They know what makes you react and respond. So when somebody does something that makes you feel like you want to respond, take a breath, pause, take a moment to give yourself that state and that place of compassion and kindness and gratitude, because you are the way that you are because of the narcissist in your life. You have learnt to protect yourself, and you have learnt to play, to do the energetic dance of the narcissist and the empath. Did you know that every narcissist is attracted to an empath, and every empath is attracted to a narcissist? It's what you might call the yin and the yang. It's the opposites attract. And it's challenging because you might be forgiven and you might believe that when you go out and you attract somebody that gives you what is known as the honeymoon period, love bombs you, gives you all sorts of incredible attention and kindness, and really puts you on this plethora of compliments that you can get swept away, and then suddenly they change. They move into this unforgiving, abusive behaviour. And what happens is you just don't believe it. You just think, oh, maybe they're having an off day. Like, that's not the person. This person's really loving. They're really caring. They really love me. they're really kind to me. This is just that they've had a bad day. Somebody's upset them. And it's not the case. This is a narcissistic strategy. They will reel you in. And when they've got you reeled in, hook, line, and sinkered, when they feel it's appropriate, they will turn on you. And when you're in a family situation, this is even more important to understand, that they know that you are the pacemaker. They know that you will avoid the conflict, and they know how to press your buttons. So what do you do with that? Because they know, and you know that they know. So how do you protect yourself? By not engaging in old arguments. The narcissist will, without a shadow of a doubt, bring up old topics and old arguments. And if you have a gathering where there are external people coming, guests, family guests, there will be a tension before those guests come. A tension with doing things, getting things done, where they will want the glorification. They will want the attention during the meal. I did this, I did that, and I did the other. And it's all me, 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 because there is a level of insecurity. Protect your energy by not engaging. When you protect your energy, you protect your emotional safety by saying no to draining interactions. Sometimes it's easier, and I've used this strategy myself, to almost go silent. And it's not to move them into a place of more manipulation. But when you go silent and you don't engage, they can't continue to drain your energy. This is a well-known strategy of a narcissist, that they want, they desire, they need your engagement. They need you to be, and I call it a tennis match. They say something, you say something. They say something, you say something. They say something, you say something. And with each elevated level of they say something, you say something, you're in the place of defense. They're in the place of control and manipulation. Even if they're wrong, you can't even say that they're wrong, because that will only move them into more coercive control. So the best way for an empathic person that is really the peacemaker is to disengage in what I'm going to fondly call the tennis match. Disengage in that activity, the reactions. Because when you disengage, they cannot steal your energy. They have not been taught how to gather energy, how to gain energy. So they will go into this mind play of control, because that's what they have learned. Now, the big thing that's important to share with you is that something's happened to them that was difficult, that was challenging, and they never really dealt with the trauma of whatever that was. And it will be generally something in their childhood or something that happened when they were quite young. And whatever that was, and it doesn't really matter, whatever that was, the defense mechanism kicks in. The body is a beautiful self-defense mechanism, and it kicks in. And it shuts down that person's feelings and emotions. They try to emulate emotional connection. They try to be emotional. Notice I'm using the words try. But they don't feel it, because in order to protect themselves, they shut down the emotional center. That's the second chakra. which is also where the sexual energy resides. That's also where the passion, desire, the movement towards things, the fun, the spontaneity. And because they shut that down, everything then resides in the mind. This is where they move through life, in every aspect of their life, through the engagement of thinking, analysing, and conversing through experiences and emotions. They've learnt to be good because they're great at emulating other people in terms of their emotions that they don't feel. Empaths, this is something for you to know, because what would their world be like if they don't experience or feel? What is their world like without that space of joy, compassion, love, gratitude, those elevated emotions that you feel? Remember, I said it's not about taking away from the person's behaviour. I'm not allowing an excuse for their behaviour. But what I do want to share, especially today on Thanksgiving Day, this day is special, and it's about moving into a place of elevated gratitude, elevated emotions, moving into the heart. And when you move into the heart, it is easier to forgive. But they are suffering. They don't experience life like you do. They struggle through life. They don't experience the joy and the passion in the same way that you do as an empathic person. What they experience is what I would call autopilot, living in an auto experience, an almost feeling of a disconnect of body and mind. They won't feel the sensations and the love and the inner peace and the compassion and the kindness. They might show it and they might say things, especially in that honeymoon period, that they don't actually feel. And that, I feel, is a place where if you have an understanding as an empathic person, it can change how you respond. It can change how you feel about that experience, especially in our festive season, when we're almost thrown together and we have to show that we're happy, and we almost have to show that we are having a great time because society, culture demands it of us. There's an expectation that we should be joyous, in gratitude, having fun, enjoying that space of the difficulties of the family experiences. Every family, almost every family maybe, I don't hear of many families that everything is wonderful all of the time. They might tell you it is, but if you live there, you might find something different. Because narcissists are absolutely incredible and really gracious at making it look that they are suave, sophisticated, they are totally emotional people, and they are the life and soul of the party. They wish to be, they're playing in that role. So here's a practical holiday toolkit for you, some practical takeaways. How empaths protect themselves is to observe without absorbing. Speak calmly. Resist that temptation to match their voice, their tone. You can move them into a place of more calmness by you speaking slowly, by you not engaging, by raising your voice to overpower their voice. Speaking calmly diffuses the narcissist's abusive behavior. Not defensively. This is important and it's key. Speak calmly rather than defensively. Even if you speak slowly and calmly and with kindness, if you are speaking from a place of self-defense, that will only add fuel to the narcissist. Step away from any provocation. If you feel any provocation at all, disengage vocally and physically, and limit your engagement with the button pushers. Give yourself permission. That's really important here. Give yourself permission to say no. It's a tiny little word, no, and yet it is a complete sentence. You might not need to say no externally. You can say no internally, your own internal dialogue. Prioritize your peace over old family roles. And holiday mantras I'd like to share with you so that you have a more joyful and peaceful time in your social and festive gatherings. Not everything deserves my energy. Not everything requires my response. My peace, my inner peace, is my responsibility. Notice I'm using the words my and I. When you own something, you are in control. If you are youing, if you are saying you did this to me, you are giving your power away. And I wouldn't want you to give your power away, because that's exactly what the narcissist wants. They want your power because they haven't learned to give themselves the power within. In closing, I want to leave you with this thought. Holidays can bring out the best in people. I'm a stress expert, known as the Harley Street Stress Expert. Of course, I'm going to be looking at the challenges of this difficult season. And remember, the deepest wounds of the narcissist, that's where the behavior is coming from. They are deeply affected by a past trauma and don't know how to resolve it, apart from living in a protective bubble of manipulation and coercive control. I hope that you feel a tiny bit more compassion towards the narcissist and their behaviors. Remember, I'm not saying to excuse the behaviors. I want you to understand why and where it's coming from, because we were all born pure. Something happens, something changes, something difficult. And when something changes and something's difficult that we can't handle, we then shut down the feelings and emotions. And then we move into a place of control. And because we don't feel, there is a difficulty in emotionally connecting with people. You have the power and you are in control. The narcissist isn't in control, even though it looks like they are coming from a place of ego. They don't feel the place of control. Your survival strategy. You were born in childhood, and the pain does not excuse the behavior. Understanding it frees you from carrying the emotional weight. You are not responsible for managing someone else's triggers. So say an internal no. You are not responsible for fixing their past. And it doesn't matter how old they are. You are not responsible as an empathic person who is sensitive, it's not your need or your right to fix their path. You are not responsible for absorbing their projections. Compassion is powerful. Begin with yourself. Put your own gas mask on first. Begin with you, because everything begins with you. Walk into your festive gatherings this year and remember, you are allowed to stay centered. Stay calm. Walk away. Protect your peace. Enjoy your holidays without becoming the emotional caretaker for everyone else. Your empathy is a gift. It's a gift to you, and it's a gift to everyone around you. Everyone loves an empathic person. Everyone needs you around because they know you care, and they know you love, and they know you are kind. They need you. It's a gift to have that compassionate beingness. It's not a burden. Protect your peace. It is your power. Thank you for joining me in this episode on this wonderful Thanksgiving Day. I wish you peace and grounded, emotionally safe holiday season. Thank you for your attention and your interest. Please subscribe to USA Global TV and Radio YouTube channels. We have two. We have the award-winning Silver Creator Award channel, USA Global TV and Radio, which has over 100,000 subscribers. And this was the award that was given to Dr. Jacqueline for having over 100,000 subscribers. You can find all of our Talking Heads episodes under the banner of Talking Heads and under my name. I have a special offer to offer you today because it is also Black Friday weekend. And Black Friday is a big thing in America, and now it's becoming really, really big in the UK. And Black Friday seems to be much longer in period and in time. It seems to elongate by a week, a whole weekend. We also have Cyber Monday. And I feel very humbled to be able to offer you chakra readings, intuitive chakra readings. I'm offering a 15-minute chakra reading for £20. That's 20 Great British pounds. A 30-minute chakra intuitive reading for £35, and a 1-hour intuitive chakra reading for £65. This is a Black Friday offer, and it is limited in time. And I'm going to say it's limited. When I have capacity, I will withdraw the offer. It is limited, so please do take advantage of the offer. There is a link on the YouTube description and all the social medias. And thank you, Dr. Jacqueline, behind the scenes. She's put up the link here. I know that it's not so easy if you're on the channel and watching, but the link is in the YouTube description of the show and also on Facebook and LinkedIn. Please do click the link. It is a PayPal link, and you can choose which offer that you want, either 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. And then I will email you with instructions and to organize and schedule your booking. It is my gift to you, and I feel very honored to be able to offer this on this wonderful Thanksgiving Day. I wish you all an amazing celebration. You can reach me on nomorestress@live.co.uk, or call if you're international +44. If you are local, 07523 120 189. And in the descriptions on all social media, there is my WhatsApp number if you are international, which is +44 7 957 160 649. And that's in all of the descriptions if you prefer to use WhatsApp. Thank you very much for joining me. This has been an important episode for me to do, especially today on this beautiful Thanksgiving Day. Have wonderful celebrations in this festive season. Have a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate, and have a wonderful, joyous and peaceful, compassionate time. Thank you very much. Namaste.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram-Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to tracycramperkins.com. Tracy Cram-Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.
Every woman carries a story of strength, of purpose, of light. Through her courage, the world is transformed. Through her grace, generations are inspired. This is Iconic Women. Within Every Woman Lives a Goddess, a celebration of brilliance, beauty, and empowerment. Join us every Wednesday at 11 a.m. New York, 4 p.m. London time. Only here on USA, Global TVR, and Radio. Featuring the iconic Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, honoring voices that shine across the world. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, USA Global TV and Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, to watch and engage with all our content. World-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Every woman carries a story of strength, of purpose, of light. Through her courage, the world is transformed. Through her grace, generations are inspired. This is Iconic Women. Within Every Woman Lives a Goddess, a celebration of brilliance, beauty, and empowerment. Join us every Wednesday at 11 a.m. New York, 4 p.m. London time. Only here on USA, Global TVR, and Radio. Featuring the iconic Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, honoring voices that shine across the world. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, USA Global TV and Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, to watch and engage with all our content. World-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USAGlobalTV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.